in a land where sunbeams danced like golden ribbons and flowers hummed soft melodies. There lived a little fairy named Liora. She was the tiniest fairy in all of Lumina Woods, but also the brightest. Her wings shimmered like morning dew touched by starlight. She loved to fly above the treetops, greeting butterflies, painting rainbows with her wand, and whispering wishes into the breeze. But more than anything else, Liora loved helping others. Every time she spread kindness, her wings glowed stronger. The fairy queen often praised her and said, "Liora, your heart is your true magic." One bright morning, the fairies of Lumina Woods were preparing for the grand spring festival. All fairies had been given special tasks. Some were polishing moonstones, others were gathering pollen sparkles. Leora's job was the most important. She had to awaken the sleeping blossoms of the valley. These flowers only bloomed when touched by pure kindness, and Liora had the softest, most gentle magic. She skipped through the forest, tapping each blossom with her wand. The flowers yawned, stretched, and opened wide, filling the air with sweet fragrances. "Rise and shine, little ones," she giggled, feeling the wind brush her wings. But as she reached the last blossom, she heard a faint cry. "Help! Someone! Please help!" The voice was trembling, almost fading. Leora's heart tightened. She fluttered toward the sound, deeper into the woods, where the trees grew tall and the air grew cooler. At last, she spotted a little creature baby sparrow caught in a tangle of thorns. Its wings were trembling, and its eyes were wet with fear. "Oh dear," Liora whispered gently. "Hold still, little friend." She waved her wand, but the thorn bush was no ordinary bush, it was enchanted. Every time Liora tried to cut through, the branches tightened even more around the sparrow. Liora bit her lip. "Magic isn't working. I must help another way." She flew closer and began to pull the thorns apart with her hands. They were sharp and prickly, but she didn't stop. She tugged and pulled until one thorn snagged her wing. A sharp pain shot through her. Still, she didn't stop. With a final tug, the sparrow slipped free and fluttered into her hands, safe and trembling. "Thank you," it chirped softly. But as Liora tried to stand up, she stumbled. Her wings felt strange, heavy, uneven. She looked over her shoulder and gasped. One of her wings was torn. The shimmering patterns were broken. Tiny fairy dust sparkled and fell to the ground like fading stars. "No, no," Liora whispered. "My wings." She tried to flap them, but only one wing responded. She spun in circles and fell to the ground. Panic filled her heart. "What have I done?" she cried. "I saved the sparrow, but I lost my wings." The sparrow hopped closer. "You saved me. I will help you." But Liora shook her head. "A fairy without wings cannot fly, cannot help with the festival, cannot even return home." Her heart felt heavy as dusk fell. The forest dimmed, and the cold breeze brushed her cheeks. She sat beneath an old willow tree and cried softly. Tiny droplets of fairy dust drifted away with each tear. As night fell, the sparrow returned with friends. Fireflies lit the air like floating lanterns. Squirrels carried soft leaves for warmth, and rabbits brought sweet berries. "We will not leave you alone," the sparrow said. Liora looked around, surprised. "But why?" "Because kindness returns," the fireflies chimed. "You saved one life today, and now many will help save you." The animals gently lifted Liora and guided her back toward Lumina Woods. It was a long journey for a fairy who could no longer fly, but every creature walked with her. When they reached the Fairy Queen's glade, the festival was about to begin. But everything stopped when the fairies saw Liora walking instead of flying. The queen hurried forward. "Liora, what happened?" Liora bowed her head. "I lost my wing while saving a baby sparrow." The fairies gasped, but the queen placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Child, what you lost was not your wings, it was your fear. What you gained is far greater." The queen raised her wand, and a golden glow filled the air. It wrapped around Liora like warm sunlight. Her torn wing lifted, sparkled, and slowly began to mend. Every thread of kindness she had given, every smile she had shared, every good deed she had done wove itself into the wing like glowing threads. When the light faded, Liora looked back. Her wing was whole again but different. It was brighter than before, sparkling with new colors she had never seen. I can fly again?" she asked. "Not just fly," the queen said. "You will soar higher than ever. Wings that break and heal become stronger. Just like hearts." The fairies cheered as Liora lifted herself gently into the air. She spun, glided, and laughed with joy. The animals gathered below, watching proudly. The queen spoke again. "Tonight, Liora will lead the spring festival, for she has shown us the purest magic of all: courage, kindness, and sacrifice." The festival began with fireworks of fairy dust, glowing petals swirling in the air, and music made of moonbeams and laughter. Liora danced through the sky, her wings spreading colors like flowing light. Later that night, as she rested on a soft petal cloud, the baby sparrow perched beside her. "You lost your wings to save me," he said softly. "And I found something stronger," she replied. "A reminder that even when we fall, kindness helps us rise again." From that day forward, Liora was known as Liora, the brave-winged fairy. The fairy who lost her wings but gained an even greater magic one that lit the entire forest with hope. And whenever a creature in Lumina Woods needed help, they always looked for the shimmer of her wings, the ones that once broke but healed with love. The end.